This is a video about some of the most dangerous killers and drug dealers from different parts of the Bahamas, coming from the most dangerous gangs in Nassau, Freeport, Abaco and Exuma. We'll be going over everything, including how many bodies they have, where they are from and different legal situations they was involved in. Some of these guys are dead, still alive or incarcerated at the time of this video. This is Bahamas drill music and this is top 20 assassins and kingpins of the Bahamas. Number 1 assassin on the list. Carlos Colbrook, or better known as Sculler. Sculler once was the leader of the drug street gang called Fire and Theft. Sculler took charge of the violent street gang after founder Julian Heads Colley, the former leader of the Fire and Theft gang, was murdered. The notorious street gang that lives up to its name. They are well known for larceny, theft, armed robbery and murder. Here are some details about Carlos. Carlos Sculler Colbrook led the violent street gang Fire and Theft, being even more reckless and dangerous than his predecessor, having no regard for civilians. On Friday the 5th of August 2011, at age 23, Carlos Sculler Colbrook of Williams Street and his accomplice Giovanni Sticky LaFleur, age 20, of Hope Gardens, Nassau Village, ended the life of a rival member, Alexander Hepburn, also known as Boy Blue. He died on Alexandria Boulevard after being shot multiple times about the body. On Friday the 27th of December 2013, Sculler was also one of 2 suspects in connection with the multiple massacre homicide that occurred near Fox Hill Park. Second suspect was 27-year-old Amal Hunter, aka Bo, of Williams Lane, Kemp Road. More on Sculler in part 2. Number 2 on the list. Drug lord Stephen D. Stubbs, who leads the notorious One Order gang. This gang is known for narcotics possession, armed robberies, homicides and various other offenses. This street gang is in constant conflict with the Fire and Theft gang. D is currently incarcerated for the killing of a police officer. More details in part 2. Our third on the list is hitman Dion Demeritte, better known as 10K, a well-loved Fire and Theft member and also a top shooter. 10K is from the Nassau Village area, which is not too far from rival Pinewood Gardens, which is better known as Dirty South. Order being a top dog, he was also a killer and was speculated to be involved with over 4 murders on April 2016 after partying at a club. Rumors are 10K caught a ride from a mutual friend, Calvin 80 Grand Thompson, who was with his cousin and his girlfriend Ashanti when he opened fire and shot all occupants of the vehicle, then flee. 2 years later he was convicted and sentenced to 58 years for murder and 28 years for each count of attempt murder. On Friday the 22nd of April 2016, shortly after 1:00 p.m. officers were on patrol when they received a report of gunshots being discharged on Emmanuel Way off Soldier Road. Acting on information, the officers went to a home on Emmanuel Way, where they conducted a search and uncovered a 9mm pistol with 15 rounds of ammunition, along with a quantity of suspected marijuana. A RBPF officer and 10K were subsequently arrested in connection with this discovery. On October 2022, 10K was ambushed at a grill out in the East Street area and was shot but survived the attack. He was shot with a friend who later died of his injuries. September 2022. Another hit taken out by 10K was Roberto Bow Williams. He was the boyfriend of Candy Gibson, the president of Families of All Murder Victims, FOAM, a non-profit organization that aims to assist people whose relatives were murdered or were victims of crime. On surveillance camera, Williams is seen throwing out the trash and then walking toward a blue SUV and opening the car's door when 2 armed men emerged from the front of the home and began firing at the victim. He collapsed and the men are seen running away before escaping in a white vehicle, which was a score for the Fire and Theft side. Number 4th assassin on the list. Drug thug cop killer Fellanna Williams, better known as Sleepy of the One Order set. Williams, currently incarcerated, is being questioned by detectives from the Central Detective Unit in connection with a number of serious offenses. On Sunday the 27th of December 2015, police have launched an island-wide manhunt for 27-year-old Fellanna Sleepy Williams of Sunset Park, who shot at police officers during a high-speed chase shortly after 1 p.m. Police received a report of gunshots being fired in the London Avenue area off Carmichael Road. They saw a dark green vehicle speeding off. The officers gave chase and ordered the occupants to stop. They refused. Police gave chase and the vehicle stopped a short distance away, where the suspect, Sleepy, armed with 2 handguns, got out and began firing at the officers. The officers returned fire and the suspect Williams fled on foot with the 2 handguns in his hands. The officers gave chase but were unable to catch the suspect. On Thursday the 4th of November 2016, Sleepy and a friend called Shannon was ambushed by mlmikey and Pedalion Moxie stemming from an incident on Tuesday, the 8th of November. It is alleged that the pair had possession of a loaded AK-47 rifle and Smith & Wesson .40 pistol and used them to endanger the lives of Sleepy and Shannon. Sleepy is also accused of the 11th of June murder of Anthony Hot Dog Bryce in Fox Hill. Sleepy is also accused of the 25th of February hit on Leslie. Roll were accused of abetting the killing shortly after 8 AM. Roll was sitting on a large rock at Ferguson subdivision when a man pulled up in a silver-colored Nissan Primera and shot him 4 times before speeding off. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Number 5 on the list is Kingpin Dwight Major, better known as Papi. Major was extradited on the 18th of April, 2008. On the 10th of October, 2008, Major pled guilty in the Southern District of Florida to a drug conspiracy charge. He subsequently was sentenced to 108 months in prison with credit for time served in the Bahamas while awaiting extradition. The BOP then calculated a release date in 2011. The United States government had commenced extradition proceedings, which Major vigorously contested in the Bahamas for several years, while confined at HM Prison, Fox Hill. On the 30th of July, 2004, the Bahamian courts issued an extradition warrant and on the 7th of November, 2007, in the Bahamas, Major was sentenced on his 3rd conviction of conspiracy to import 1,600 kilograms of cocaine to a term of imprisonment of 5 years, retroactive to the 11th of October, 2003.